Very good morning to each and everyone watching Mama Gasabo Television. Thank you for being with us again to be with me, Kamikaze Slane. Now let's kick off with the news headlines. Rwanda urges global vigilance to prevent genocide at Holocaust Remembrance event. Rwanda urges protection of Kinyarwanda as pillar of unity and heroism. On the international news, Mali takes majority control of civil explosives producer. Now let's take a short break to be back on the news details. Welcome back. Let's turn to Rwanda. Rwanda has called on the international community to remain vigilant to prevent genocide from happening again. Speaking on January 27, 2026, during International Holocaust Remembrance Day at the Kigali Genocide Memorial, Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Olivier Nduhungirehe, warned that genocide is never accidental, but a planned process that can be stopped if early signs are addressed. He said genocide begins with division, discrimination, dehumanization, and hate speech, drawing parallels between the Holocaust and the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. Nduhungirehe also expressed concerns over rising anti-Semitism worldwide and the continued persecution of communities based on identity, citing violence and hate in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Israel, Germany, and United Nations officials echoed the warning, stressing that genocide starts with words and lies before violence. They emphasized dedication, remembrance, and international cooperation as key tools to combat hatred, denial, and discrimination, especially among young people, to safeguard future generations. Moving ahead, Rwanda's Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement has highlighted the importance of the Kinyarwanda language as a pillar of national identity, unity, and courage. Speaking ahead of the 32nd Heroes Day to be marked on February 1st, Minister Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana said correct spoken and written Kinyarwanda is essential to preserving Rwanda's culture and values. Under the theme Courage and Unity of Rwandans, Pillars of Development, the minister warned against distorting or mixing Kinyarwanda with foreign languages, calling the language a source of pride shared by all generations. He said culture cannot survive without unifying language. The Director General of Channel, Francois Ngalambe, said heroism is taught through language and urged wider use of Kinyarwanda in all sectors. A 2025 survey showed 99.7% of Rwandans speak Kinyarwanda, but over 70% misuse it, mainly by mixing foreign language to appear skilled or modern. Now, turning to the next story, Nyabihu District authorities have announced that repairs to the homes of survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi will resume after facing delays linked to previous issues in the program. The rehabilitation work in the district aimed to restore houses damaged or left in poor conditions since the genocide, improving living conditions for vulnerable survivors. In recent years, local officials faced scrutiny and illegal action over alleged mismanagement and embezzlement of funds intended for rebuilding survivors' homes, leading to delays in planned renovations. The renewed effort reflects a broader government commitment to ensure decent shelter for genocide survivors across the country. Rwanda has previously outlined plans to construct and renovate thousands of homes for survivors as part of ongoing post-genocide recovery and social support programs. Now let's take a short break to be back on the international news. Welcome back. On the international news, Malian government has announced that it is taking majority control of a new company dedicated to producing civil-use explosives inside the country.
International news, this is in Africa, where Malian government has announced that it will take majority control of a new company that will produce civil-use explosives within the country. After a cabinet meeting at the Koruba Palace, authorities approved a 51% state stake in the company called Société Industrielle du Centre Mali Falachikosa. The company was created through partnership with the Chinese firm Oxin, based on shareholder agreements signed in November 2024. The project aims to reduce Mali's dependence on imported explosives and ensure a steady supply for the mining sector, quarries, and large civil engineering projects. It also seeks to strengthen government oversight of these sensitive materials. Since 2022, Mali has tightened regulations on explosives to combat terrorism and the use of employed explosive devices. In 2023, Mali imported over $5 million worth of explosives. Although production details are not yet available, the initiative aligns with broader mining reforms to increase state involvement and economic benefits. Preceding our international news, India's Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, was killed on Wednesday when his charter aircraft crashed and burst into flames near Baramati, according to aviation authorities. Four others on the board, including two staff members and two crew, also died. The Rearjet 45 aircraft was traveling from Mumbai to the Pawar's home region, where he was scheduled to campaign in local body elections. The aviation regulator confirmed that there were no survivors. The cause of the crash has not yet been determined. Video footage showed fake smoke rising from burning wreckage scattered across an open field. A witness told local media that the aircraft exploded multiple times and the intense flames were made rescue efforts impossible. Reports say the plane attempted an emergency landing before crashing. Pawar, a senior political leader from a prominent family, supported Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party in Maharashtra after splitting from the Nationalist Congress Party in 2023. Prime Minister Modi described the incident as shocking and deeply saddening. Concluding our international news, in Minnesota's Twin Cities, residents have launched a grassroots campaign to monitor and document immigration and customs enforcement operations amid President Donald Trump's mass deportation program. As thousands of federal agents carry out arrests through traffic stops, as aid under Operation Metro Surge, local volunteers film ICE officers to ensure public accountability and protect their communities. Since December, about 3,400 people have been arrested, with many transferred to distance detention centers. The movement has grown after several photo shootings involving federal agents, including the killing of nurse and union members Alex Pretty while he filmed ICE officers. Community groups, unions, and faith organizations have organized nonviolent action trainings, mutual aid networks, and constitutional observer programs. Leaders say they draws on experience from protests following George Floyd's death in 2020. Despite official claims of self defense, video evidence has fueled public outrage, strengthening resistance. Protesters insist that constant public scrutiny is necessary and they say they will not stop. This is the end of our international news. This is Margaret Sabo Television.
As we come to the end of the news edition, let's remind you of the top stories that we talked about. Rwanda urges global vigilance to prevent genocide at Holocaust Remembrance event. Rwanda urges protection of Kinyarwanda as pillar of unity and heroism. On the international news, Mali takes majority control of civil explosive producer. And this marks the end of our news edition. Stay tuned.